President Park Geun-hye is in Russia to attend the G20 Summit. She has pledged to strengthen economic ties with other countries. The National Assembly has approved the arrest bill for Unified Progressive Party representative Seok-ki, who is charged with conspiring to organize a rebellion. And Daejeon is showcasing Korea's first large-scale outdoor LED display, catching the eyes of pedestrians. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, September 5th. I'm Mark Broom. President Park Geun-hye is in St. Petersburg, Russia to attend the G20 Summit, making her debut on the multilateral diplomatic stage. She has pledged to focus on strengthening economic ties with other countries as part of her so-called sales diplomacy.
President Park Geun-hye arrived in St. Petersburg Thursday, where the G20 leaders' summit opened. This is the first time the president is attending a multilateral diplomatic gathering since taking office in February. On the first day of the two-day meeting, Park worked to coordinate differences between advanced and emerging countries with the U.S.'s departure from quantitative easing. On the second day, she is scheduled to deliver a speech stressing the importance of job creation at the request of Russian President Vladimir Putin. On the sidelines of the G20 Leaders Summit, Park will hold bilateral summits with leaders from Italy, Germany, Kazakhstan, and Russia. Before departing for Russia, the president said in an interview with a Russian news agency that Seoul would strengthen cooperation with Moscow to promote peace on the Korean peninsula and the joint development of Northeast Asia. Park said South Korea will offer a variety of aid to North Korea when the two Koreas build mutual trust and Pyongyang sticks to its promises to denuclearize.
신이나 또 교통, 무슨 전력 이런 거에 대한 확충, 그다음에 국제 기구에 대한 어떤 가입 이런 것도 지원을 하려고 합니다.
Park will seek to strengthen economic and diplomatic ties with other countries through the G20 summit.
The National Assembly overwhelmingly approved an arrest motion for Unified Progressive Party representative Seok-ki, who is charged with conspiring to overthrow the government. The Saenuri, Democratic and even Justice parties all voted in favor of removing Lee's parliamentary immunity.
The National Assembly voted for the arrest of Unified Progressive Party representative Seok-ki.
국회의원 이석기 체포 동의안은 가결되었음을 선포합니다.
Of the 300 incumbent lawmakers, 289 cast their votes. 258 of them voted in favor of the arrest motion. Representatives of the ruling and opposition parties, excluding the Unified Progressive Party, held a meeting prior to the parliamentary session to streamline their position on Lee's arrest. 31 votes turned out to be opposed, abstained, or invalid. In other words, with 6 of the Unified Progressive Party members excluded, 25 of the remaining 3 parties' representatives and independent lawmakers voted against the arrest motion. The ruling and opposition parties later squared off over the votes that were cast against Lee's arrest. The Saenuri party blamed the opposition by saying that the 31 lawmakers in question were pro-North Korean activists. The main opposition Democratic Party, in response, said the Saenuri party is just trying to pass the blame.
Former President Chun Doo-hwan is expected to present a plan on how to pay his unpaid fines this week. Another former president, Roh Tae-woo, has also finally paid off his own overdue fines. The Supreme Court ordered him to pay back over $24 million in 1997.
The second son of former President Chun Doo-hwan expressed his willingness to voluntarily pay his father's overdue fines Wednesday morning.
가족들이랑 합의해서 자진 납부 의사 있으시다는 얘기까지 흘러나왔는데
조만간 입장을 정해서 말씀을 드리도록 하겠습니다.
Chun Jae-yong said his family will sell its properties to pay for the former president's unpaid fines. However, he told prosecutors that it is difficult to pay off the amount totaling over $150 million even if his family sells off all its properties. Chun said that he will soon present to prosecutors a detailed plan on how to pay the former president's fines after discussing the matter with his family. Chun Jae-yong's shift in his stance follows prosecutors' seizure of his properties worth more than 73 million US dollars. They include properties such as land in Osan and Hannam-dong, Herb Village, and the former president's home garden. Chun also may be feeling cornered since there are signs he could be arrested again. He was once detained in 2004 on charges of tax evasion. Along similar lines, another former president, Roh Tae-woo, paid off his overdue fines. The younger brother of the ex-president paid the remainder on Wednesday on the former president's behalf, amounting to some 13.7 million US dollars.
Many businesses complain about government regulations that hamper their activities. Mid-sized corporations say they are facing even harsher regulations than smaller ones. They are calling on the government to remove such stumbling blocks.
This company manufacturing large molding equipment officially became a mid-sized corporation last year because its workforce now exceeds 200 people, which is the threshold for a mid-sized company. But it also means that it won't receive as many tax benefits as it used to get as a small-sized firm.
연간 한 10억 정도의 그 세금이 증가되게 됐습니다. 그래서 전체 낸 세금으로 따지면은 세금으로서는 한 15% 정도 증가한 효과가 나타났습니다.
When small businesses grow in size, they are no longer eligible for 47 kinds of subsidies, such as tax exemptions. What's more, they must comply with 190 more regulations. In a recent meeting that was attended by lawmakers, government officials, and industrial circles representatives, middle-sized companies urged the government to ease the excessive regulations.
R&D 세액공제만큼은 좀 확실하게 하고 가야 되는 것이다라고 말씀드리고 싶습니다.
Some suggested a basic law specifically for mid-sized firms. Mid-sized enterprises are also urging the government to ease taxation rules and provide them with more tax breaks.
With the Chuseok holiday just a couple of weeks away, local produce from across the nation is being gathered in Seoul for sale. A farmers' market is now open for the public to buy fresh fruit and vegetables at much cheaper prices than they'd find in the supermarket.
Tents are lined up in front of Seoul City Hall. The Ministry of Security and Public Administration, as well as 133 local governments nationwide, have opened a market selling quality-approved local produce. Products include honey that comes from honeycombs and seasonal fruits. Seoul residents say they're satisfied with both the price and the quality. While selling and shopping online is all the rage these days, producers who are confident about their products prefer direct transactions.
여기 와보면 소비자의 기호를 알 수 있고 소비자가 뭘 원한다는 그런 상황을 파악할 수 있으니까.
This farmers market, which opens each year before the Chuseok holiday, celebrates its 5th anniversary this year. So far, the market has seen 4.14 million visitors and sales worth around 23.8 million US dollars, hitting a record high for a single day. This year, customers can have the products that they've purchased delivered right to their homes.
전통시장 활성화를 위해서요. 기존의 지역 특산물과 더불어 저희 서울시 전통시장의 우수성을 알리는 그런 코너 내지는 홍보관도 같이 마련했고요.
The Seoul city government is also planning to revitalize the direct transactions of produce using such markets before the Lunar New Year's holiday.
As the gap between morning and daytime temperatures is growing wider these days, the number of people complaining of breathing problems is surging. Many children are also suffering from a high fever and colds. Here's how to stay healthy during the seasonal shift.
This children's hospital in Seoul is crowded with young patients. Most of them have respiratory ailments such as colds. Their number has soared lately. When the gap between morning and daytime temperatures widens to more than 10 degrees Celsius, the immune system weakens as it tries to adapt to seasonal changes. The adenovirus, which is the cause of the recent colds, is accompanied by a high fever and inflammation of the tonsils. When the immune system weakens, bacteria easily penetrate the tonsils, causing inflammation. Every year, the number of tonsillitis patients surges in September.
보온에 신경 써주시고요. 손 열심히 씻는 게 중요하고, 그 다음에 이제 아이들 집단 생활하고 온 다음에는 양치질을 한다든지 그런 개인 위생을 철저히 해주시기 바랍니다.
To keep your respiratory organs moist and your immune system strong, experts advise drinking plenty of water, exercising regularly, and restraining from drinking.
Korea's central city of Daejeon is showcasing the country's first large-scale outdoor LED display. Dazzling images light up 20 meters above the ground, catching the eyes of pedestrians. Let's take a look.
In the evening, at a shopping plaza, a dazzling video show is being shown from 20 meters above. Planets of the solar system float around, and a huge satellite passes by a swirling galaxy. A colorful DNA strand dances and ripples through the night sky. This is Sky Road, an LED facility set up in the heart of Daejeon. Passerbys stop to watch the exotic light show.
대전 저희 동기끼리 모여서 놀러 왔는데 보니까 멋있고 잘 해놨다고 생각했습니다.
The Sky Road is 214 meters long and 13.3 meters wide. The 3 million LED chips produce high-definition images. It's the world's fourth largest and the first of its kind to be set up in Korea. The show's themes include nature, science, and dance.
지속적인 콘텐츠를 개발해서 오시는 분들이 늘 새로운 그 콘텐츠를 관람할 수 있도록 하고 또한 또 적정한 그 축제와 이벤트를 계획해서
The Daejeon city government is planning to utilize the Sky Road as the engine to spice up the city's stagnant atmosphere.
Simply shifting 100,000 copies of your album is regarded as successful these days in the music industry, but new boy band EXO has already sold more than 700,000 copies of their debut album, and singer Jo Young-pil is expected to release a new album for his Japanese fans.
The boy band EXO is all the rage in Korea. The group's agency says that EXO's first album has already sold more than 730,000 copies. EXO became the first music group in Korea in 12 years to sell more than 700,000 copies. The previous record was set in 2001 by singers Kim Gun-mo and Jo Sung-mo. Music industry insiders ascribe EXO's feat to its popularity in Chinese-speaking countries. And singer Jo Young-pil is to release his first album in Japan since his last performance there 17 years ago. The album will likely contain 3 or 4 songs from the singer's latest album entitled Hello. They will be recorded in Japanese. Jo has already recorded the songs Hello and Bounce and will soon set the date of the new album's release.
How often do you change your passwords online? Changing things up regularly or making up extremely difficult passwords can help you protect your information online, but it can also lead to confusion. Here are some ways to reduce the stress associated with password protection while keeping your online information safe.
Many people are confronted by passwords several times a day. It's easy to cut corners on cybersecurity, making up easy passwords or using the same one across multiple sites. But this can make you an easy target for hackers. Park Jong-sun says he was hacked, scammed out of cold hard cash. But it wasn't difficult for hackers to crack his password. He simply combined his name and birthday to make it easy to remember.
게임원이나 아이템 같은 게 다 하나도 없어진 상태로 돼 있더라고요. 그래가지고 금전적인 피해를 많이 한 15만 원에서 20만 원가량 받고.
He saw no additional losses after changing his password, but he had to make new passwords for all his favorite online sites.
일본어를 좀 기억하기 쉽게 좀 제가 설정을 해놓는 편이거든요. 근데 그게 좀 너무 쉽게 해두다 보니까 그게 좀 이렇게 독이 됐던 것 같아요.
Using the same password across different sites is also risky.
비밀번호가 같다, 동일하다 하는 분 거부해 주시겠어요?
5 out of the 20 people here admit to using one password for many different sites. If your password gets cracked on one site, it's only a matter of time before the other sites are compromised as well.
이제 아무리 3회 이상 틀리게 되면은 인터넷상으로는 도저히 그런 뱅킹을 더 진행을 할 수가 없어요. 그래서 은행에 직접 가서 그런 걸 다 처리해야 되는 좀 번거로움이 있는 것 같아요.
Here, an internet security expert demonstrates how easy it is to crack an ordinary password. He pulls up a random website, using a computer program to decode the login password. In seconds, he's logged in as the administrator. It takes just 4 seconds to crack a password made up of 4 lowercase letters. A mix of numbers and lowercase letters did not fare much better, hacked in just 15 seconds. Adding special characters makes the job a little harder, but the password was still decoded in just 14 minutes.
인터넷상에서 구할 수 있는 여러 가지 이제 툴들이 많이 있고요. 또 그게 아니더라도 약간의 프로그래밍 지식만 있으면 누구나 다 만들어낼 수가 있습니다.
So, how do you know if your password is secure? A website like this one can show you.
제가 직접 사용하고 있는 제 패스워드를 한번 직접 입력을 해보도록 하겠습니다.
His password would take 344,000 years to decode. Most hackers don't have time for that.
12자리 정도의 문자고요. 여기에는 특수기호 하나, 그다음에 숫자 4개, 대문자 하나, 이렇게 포함이 되어 있습니다.
The principle behind a secure password is simple. The more complex it is, the more secure it becomes. A password spelling out KBS News in small letters can be decoded in just 2 seconds. But adding 2TV increases hacking time to an impressive 6 years. Enter 2 special signs at the end, and we reach 344,000 years.
가장 안전한 패스워드라고 하면은 이제 영문, 대문자, 소문자, 숫자, 특수기호를 모두 사용해서 6자리 이상의 패스워드를 만들었을 때 일반적으로 가장 안전하다고 알려져 있습니다.
Digital progress certainly makes life much more convenient. But this progress doesn't come without responsibility, like coming up with passwords that are easy to remember, yet hard to crack.
Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Have a great day.